Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
They fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18,
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
don't listen to this.
Can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If you're 18 and up,
don't do it.
If you're 18 and up.
All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Conspiracy Podcast. The Conspiracy Podcast. I'm Eric. This is Sean. Jorge.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
We're back again.
This is the death of Princess Diana.
Literally the tragedy that rocked us all.
This is going to be a good one.
It could be.
Yeah,
it might suck, but it could be good.
Could get a little dark.
This was rough.
I know.
This was rough. This was 1997.
People were fucked up.
Let's go back to 1997.
A little time travel.
Yeah, Paris.
Paris.
Yeah.
I fucking
It was rough. So, Diana, Princess of Wales.
Ooh.
She was born in 1 July 1961.
She was born in 1 July.
The 1st of July. Yeah, she was a July baby. She met Charles. She was the Princess of Wales, and but when she was 16, she met Charles. And funny enough, she
high school sweetheart.
Charles
was 27.
No, Charles was dating her sister at the time.
Ooh,
what a slut! Not her, him. Like he.
Goddamn.
He was dating her sister.
Don't you talk about Princess of Wales that way?
No,
Don't you dare.
Dude, she was
Don't
a saint.
you dare talk about
She
that.
was a saint. It was him.
Yeah.
Charles, I never trusted him. I never trusted Charles.
Yeah.
He was a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, so on 29 July 1981, Diana and Charles were married at St. Paul's Cathedral.
She had never made that.
So she was 20. Man. 600,000 people attended the wedding.
600,000
people. Do you know how many people watched it on TV?
How many?
1 billion.
What? Get the fuck out of town.
1 billion people watched her marriage.
I thought Mexicans were bad.
Kidding me? It was televised.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like the Kardashians.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
but like old English
1981.
style.
What's crazy is
that's crazy, man.
That is more people than watched the moon landing. Isn't that nuts?
Because they actually had live streaming technology.
Yeah.
By the way, Charles was 32 when he married Diana.
32, she was 20.
Yeah,
okay,
so 12 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So quite a little bit of a difference there, guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. So she got her her title then became Her Royal Highness Princess Diana of Wales. Then her and Charles had Prince William and Prince Harry. Yeah. And they became the second and third in line of the throne.
Behind Charles. No, behind her.
No, not behind her. Behind
William and Harry. They're second and third.
They're second and third.
Yeah, so it'd be him, Charles, and then them.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the pause? What's happening? I'm freaking out right now. I'm on like fucking Front Street here.
So
like, yes.
at a certain point in time, this is crazy. At a certain point in time in her life, she was the most photographed person in the world.
Man, it's like
In the world.
how do they even know that? Like who's quantifying this data?
I know. I mean, but
you are being
And
the point of it is
part
that
of this
she
whole
was-
thing is the paparazzi was so
They were all about
the
it.
royal
over her.
family.
She was
and
because she was like because she wasn't
was beautiful.
but she also wasn't
beautiful.
like a royal, you know.
Yeah.
She wasn't like very conservative, super like like
didn't
hush,
really
hush.
fit in.
No, she
Yeah.
was completely different, and that's why it was like weird because she was just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, she's willing to talk to us and willing to be in the spotlight. And the
Right.
royals were like, don't fucking look at us, bitch. We don't exist.
She was very iconic. She was an iconic
Right.
figure, basically. She was beautiful. She was down to earth. She was kind of like, she wasn't really like a royal family member.
No, dude.
She was more like-
she was like on the
yeah,
outs.
like
She was
an
She was like an
outsider.
outsider,
Yeah.
but like an outsider that like hit the lotto.
Yeah.
Like you can't take
Yeah.
her out. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
in. She's in.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is most people who get tons of money and they didn't work for it.
They become assholes.
Oh yeah, or they
That's the
don't
truth,
necessarily
like-
do they don't necessarily do a lot of good with it.
Dude, she
And,
was doing hella good, bro.
Yeah, and she did a lot of charity stuff, and she
That's all she did.
also with AIDS.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought,
So-
I thought
Yeah, I
she was
didn't know
doing
that.
charity. I didn't know it
So
was AIDS.
one of the things that she did was she was one of the first, I guess you would call it, dignitaries who took photos with people who had AIDS.
Oh, she wasn't afraid they were going to affect her.
Yes,
Like, you know,
yes.
like...
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that was
So-
a big thing. Huh?
So at the time, like people got
In the
AIDS
90s?
Yeah, no, 80s.
Oh, this was in
In
the
the
80s.
80s,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Like,
so,
so-
people didn't know, like, oh, if you shake my hand,
Yeah.
They didn't
I'm gonna
realize
get
it
it
was
too.
only via like blood or like or
Yeah, for
seminal
sure,
or
yeah.
like
Yeah.
actual like
You
fluid.
didn't want to get close to
It
anybody.
was
like-
fluid transmission.
Yeah.
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 but she was one of the first dignitaries to actually take photos with people, and then it became more like okay,
And people were like, "Oh shit, you didn't get AIDS.
Yeah, you didn't get AIDS, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You could touch them." Like,
And then also she did a lot of work in Africa
Yeah, she did.
about
No,
the
she did.
landmines.
She 100% did, yeah.
Yeah, and so she did a lot of stuff as far as a charity work. So in the mid 80s, though, things started to appear like strained in their marriage. So much publicity. She, like we said, she was the most photographed person on Earth for a certain time period.
I feel like he was like a missionary only guy. 100%. I feel like he was like
Him?
no. Oh yeah, him, not her. Like he was missionary only for sure. 100%. Diana was the best. He was the piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry guys. Back to the story.
So they actually divorced in 1992.
Smart play.
And Diana later said in interviews that
He was missionary.
almost as soon as they were married, Charles was in contact with somebody named Camilla.
Oh, that's right. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Camilla
shit.
Parker or something.
I know.
Bowles.
She was way uglier than
Yeah.
her, too, which is bizarre.
And so Diana said that it's difficult to have a marriage with 3 people.
Ooh. Shots fired, bro.
Yeah.
She's throwing shade. This is the first shade throw of
Yeah.
like the 20th century.
Yeah. So she also said that Charles only married her under pressure from his father to get married to a suitable bride sooner rather than later.
What made her suitable? She wasn't like royal or...
She was Princess of Wales.
No, but I thought that's what she was when she got married. She was Princess of Wales because Charles was the Duke of Wales or where the fuck? The Prince of Wales.
I need to do further. I don't.
You know what?
Honestly,
I'm gonna table this to another debate.
Yeah, honestly, the royal lineage has gotten really complicated. I mean, Elton John's a sir, so Elton John's a knight.
It's like Sir
Just so we're all clear, Elton John is a knight.
I pretty
now,
much like Sir Ulrich von Wittgenstein.
Yeah. Sean Connery's a knight.
Sean
I'm
Connery,
confused.
yeah.
I'm confused by all the knighthoods.
Dude,
and
literally,
this
like,
is
what's his name? Was the Formula One driver, the black dude, my dog.
I don't know. I don't watch that.
No, it's
he lost
Who
me,
watches that?
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah,
dude. He gets paid $50 million a year.
Somebody watches it. I don't know who does.
Side note, isn't it like the most watched sport?
By who?
I don't know.
Who's
Not
watching
us.
this stuff?
Not
Everyone
us.
who's not us.
Yeah.
like literally every other human who makes no money.
I feel like the numbers are fudged.
I feel like rich people watch Formula One.
Yeah.
Or people who want to. I feel like it's like people who want to be rich. There you go. There it is. There it is. Like,
Yeah. So after she knew Charles, Charles was being unfaithful with her, or with Camilla.
Camilla.
So after Diana knew Charles was being unfaithful, she began having her own affairs.
My girl. That's right. Payback, bitch.
Yeah.
With
there
who?
was a couple. His name was Captain Hewitt.
Wow.
That guy
Yeah.
sounds
Okay.
like he's slanging.
Honestly, I
Hewitt.
mean, but during this whole time, so Diana went through some, I guess, problems with the marriage and the divorce, and the paparazzi and
It's
the
gotta
press
be rough
and-
because they're gonna
and
blackball
the
you.
never-ending
fucking
things.
smash
Yeah.
you.
So she talked about getting bulimia, depression, a never-ending sense of like
I didn't know
inadequate.
about all that. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that
inadequate.
either. Inadequacy. It's like you feel like you're like you're a lesser than.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're always held up to a.
It's like it seems like the royal playbook right there. It's like, oh, you leave, you're done.
Yep.
You abdicate
You're
the
dead
throne,
to me.
you're done.
Yep.
Like they crush you. Yeah.
So now I'm going to talk about Dodi Fayed.
I don't know what you just said.
So Dodi Fayed.
The name is Dodi Fayed?
His name's Dodi Fayed. But now that's a short.
That's a short name?
No, honestly, I cannot pronounce his name.
Is it written there? Can I see it?
No, I didn't even write it down.
You didn't write it
because
down.
It's so
Okay.
difficult. If you want to Google it, you can Google it right now.
Googling. I'm going to try.
Okay.
Ahmad Eldin Mohammed Abdel Manamam Fayed.
Okay, so then it was short for Dodi Fayed.
Better known.
Yeah,
Let's just call him Dodi.
So no, honestly, that's what his profile says is better known as.
There's a picture of him. There's a picture of him and Diana.
Yeah.
She's way better looking than
Oh
him.
my gosh.
Dude, she's hot. I forgot. She looked good.
So that was the interesting part is anyways, I'm gonna tell you about Dodi and then we'll circle back to like it seemed out of place. Like I don't know why I don't really get the appeal.
How does she end
I don't
up
get
with
the
him?
appeal. Yeah. I don't really get the appeal. So Dodi Fayed was an Egyptian film producer and the son of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed.
Oh,
Right.
So he was
that
the
makes
son of a
sense.
billionaire.
Yeah, okay. So he
I
was a
remember
rich,
now,
little,
yeah.
So you're in
little
that
rich
circle.
boy.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
in
a
that
rich
circle.
boy.
Yeah. In July of 1997, Fayed became romantically involved with Diana.
Lucky.
Okay, so keep in mind this. July 1997.
That's
Okay.
wow. That's
So she died in August.
Okay.
Not very long.
wow.
Not very long. Most people don't know that. It was a 2-month.
No, like
Thing.
July is 1 month before August.
Yeah.
That's 1
Yeah.
month.
So they were
That's a
together
1
July.
month.
It's very
together
short.
That's
August.
a 1
Yeah.
month thing.
It's
That's
not
2
like a
months.
long
That's
thing.
1 month. Well, singular month.
So earlier that summer, Fayed had become engaged to an American model named Kelly Fisher. He actually bought a house in Malibu for him. That's California.
Oh, thanks, Eric.
For himself.
I thought it was like
Yeah,
Waikiki.
he bought a house in Malibu for himself and Fisher with his daddy's money.
Of course, not with his son, but he's like, Dad,
I'm not like trying to like throw shade on
no,
Dodi.
he didn't have
but
money.
I'm just saying I don't really get it.
That's where the money came from.
who are
I don't
the son
really
of-
get it.
Most people who are the son of a billionaire
Yeah.
just
No.
stay the son of a billionaire.
No, if you pull up the photos,
he's not a good-looking man.
I mean, he's okay. He's okay.
Like, he's not like Idris Elba, bro. Like,
Yeah, but he's not like Princess Diana.
Yeah, but,
No.
but like, have you
Heart
seen
throb.
Charles?
dude. Well, he's
Yeah,
a fucking
I'll give you that.
Wait,
I'll give you that.
Wait, okay,
But
wait,
he's
wait,
the
wait.
prince
He's a
of
prince,
Europe.
bro. He's a
the Prince of Britain.
But this guy's a billionaire.
He's one of the last monarchs.
He's a billionaire. I
No,
know,
he's
it's
not
the
a
money.
billionaire.
It's
His
the-
dad's a billionaire.
Same
This
shit.
guy's the
I
heir
know,
to the
same shit. You're still
Same
a billionaire.
shit.
If your dad is a billionaire, are you a billionaire?
Jorge.
You are.
No,
You are?
it's different. It's
Yeah,
different.
hell yes.
Here's different.
Not
Here,
your grandfather,
I'll
but
give you
your
this,
dad.
I'll give you the situation.
If it's your grandfather, that's different.
Here's the
Yeah.
situation. Bill Gates donating all of his money except for $10 million for his kids. Your dad's a billionaire. You're not a billionaire. You're
No.
a 10 millionaire.
Bad example.
Bad example. This is
his dad
Egypt. Egypt.
and his dad's not donating shit. This
How do you know? Are you his fucking financier?
according to research.
No, but here's the thing. Prince Charles, heir to the throne.
The throne.
Heir to the throne.
Yeah, but here's the
This is
thing.
the last great throne.
The heir apparent
Princess
to the
Diana.
last monarch on the fucking planet.
Princess Diana, to the best of our knowledge, is
Heir
not after
apparent.
the
No,
money.
she's not. But it's
Right?
like it's a
Like,
But
she's
here's
not-
the thing. It's not
She's
about
not
the,
after the money.
It's
Right.
not about the
She's
money
definitely
for
not
her,
after
but
the
like
money.
you know, like look, if you're a woman and there's like a dude, he's like he's powerful. He can take care of you. He loves you. He's a good conversationist.
Yeah.
Like, was she gonna say no? Like, look, if my wife was like with me and like she would get me a lot faster if I was like, I'm the heir to the throne. Trust me, she'd be like, where's your apartment? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't take me as long as it did
Yeah.
to make her marry me.
All right.
So on August 30th, 1997, around 4:30 p.m., Diana and Fayed arrived at the Ritz, Paris.
I wish I could stay there.
Now, no, you know who owned the Ritz, Paris?
Fade.
Fayed's dad.
Of course he did, the fucking rich bastard.
Yeah. So they arrived through the back door and occupy the Imperial Suite.
The Imperials.
That was at
Jesus
4:30
Christ.
p.m. 4:30 p.m. So between 5:40 and 6:30 p.m., reportedly, Fayed ventures to a place called Rupasi Jewelers, and 2 rings are later delivered to the Imperial Suite. However, in a 2013 Vanity Fair article, says Diana told a friend that the ring she expected to receive would go firmly on her right hand.
Ooh,
So she was
not
saying
the marriage
she was not
hand.
ready. I mean, it was a month in.
I
It
know.
was
I
a
mean,
month
come
in.
on, like, bro,
Yeah,
like
like,
you're
we're
actually not rich.
Yeah.
Your dad's rich, and like you're kind of.
And it's only a month.
Yeah, it's only a month. I mean, So around 7 o'clock, Diana and Fayed exit the Ritz through the rear and are driven to his residence, which is near the Arc de Triomphe.
Okay, so wait, you have a house and you stayed at the Ritz anyways?
Yeah, I mean,
Why
that's
don't you just go to the
different life.
house? Like, I didn't just go to the house, homie. Like, what the fuck? I would have been at
Yeah,
the
but
house.
it's dad's hotel.
But you have a house.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand. I'm so confused. Okay, anyways.
It's hard to see the upper class from the lower class.
Dude, it's really difficult.
It's hard
I'm
to
like
see.
blinded by like the fucking opulence.
Okay, so that's at around 7. So at 9:50 p.m., utilizing the hotel's front entrance, the couple enters and heads for the. Now, forgive me. This is
Enters
all
the,
in.
wait,
This
is
is
the home or the hotel?
No.
They went back to the hotel.
Oh, they went back. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So forgive me. This is all in French, and French is the worst for me on pronunciation. So the couple enters and heads for its Le Espadon
The
restaurant.
omelette du fromage.
After foregoing reservations at Benoit,
Benoit.
Paris, because of rampant paparazzi.
Yeah,
So
they're
Diana
they're taking
reportedly
pictures of his
orders Dover sole, which I don't know what that is,
No one knows.
vegetable tempura, and a mushroom and asparagus omelet.
Ooh, vegetable tempura sounds fire right now.
Anderson explains Fayed quickly grows suspicious that photographers might be posing as restaurant patrons and requests that their food be delivered directly to their room instead of at the restaurant.
I know, but like that's gonna make a dude
much.
paranoid as shit.
I know.
Like hella. He's like
And he's not-
everybody's out to take a picture.
He's not getting photographed.
No, they don't care about him.
They don't care
Like,
about him.
They're
Yeah.
like
no
literally,
offense.
they're
No offense.
photoshopping him out of the photos.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, good. So then we move into midnight. So now it's August 31st.
the witching hour.
August 31st. So with bodyguard Trevor Ray's Jones, Fayed and Diana reportedly attempt to evade photographers by leaving the hotel through its rear entrance to return to his apartment.
What's this fucking back and forth game? Like, this is ridiculous.
So they enter the backseat of a black Mercedes to be driven by Ritz security employee Henry Paul.
Oh, this guy's on the ends. Ritz security. His dad's security, by the by.
So, according to Christopher Anderson's book, The Day Diana Died, Paul, which is the driver, Henry Paul, had at a minimum 2 drinks. He had a scotch. And
Wow. That's like 4 drinks.
And he had a beer.
Okay.
But the beer was scotch.
So later on in autopsy, like hair particles years
he died too.
He died. Yeah, he died. Later on, it was determined his alcohol level was 3 times France's legal limit.
What's France's legal limit though? It could be like 0.0009, and like that's
What
like
is it around here?
it's 0.02, 0.08. I'm looking it up now. What France's legal limit is? It could be something insane. 1 drink is about 0.08.
So 0.5 milliliters.
0.5.
I don't know
But
what
that's
that means.
milliliters.
God damn it. Metric
Why
system.
on earth did America adopt this bullshit system? It actually drives me crazy.
I know.
I'm going to voice search this
Who
shit.
decided this? God damn it.
The legal limit in France is 0.5 grams per liter.
So explain that again.
All right, so France's legal limit for drinking is 0.5 grams per liter of blood. So he was 3 times the limit. To equate that to U.S. terms, if you were to do grams per liter of blood, it'd be 0.8 grams per liter of blood being the legal limit for U.S. So he was at a 0.1. He was at a point. I see a 1.5 grams per liter of blood. So in terms of like our system, which is a different system than theirs, like he'd be at like a 0.15, which is like you're pretty fucking toasty.
You're double the limit.
You blow 0.15, you're probably getting tased.
Yeah,
like in America, they're tasing you and you're going to jail. Like
but
easily.
here's the confusing part though. Would 1 beer and a glass of scotch do that to you?
It's possible, depending on the scotch. I mean, if you had like
I don't think it would.
Dude,
to
if
me.
you had
I think I'm maybe at 0.08.
No, but how many fingers of scotch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't know
there
that
you go.
data.
He could have like he's gonna give me 4 fingers of scotch, homie. Give me a
that's true.
biggie.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know that data.
Yeah, so that's probably what happened. He was probably like a little extra.
For every drink that you take, your blood alcohol level goes up by 0.02. So it takes about 4 to 5 drinks to get up to 0.08.
And that's our system.
Yeah,
so theirs
the
is
minimum
like,
for over here.
imagine like add a 0 and it's their system.
So he had 15 drinks?
Dude, he had probably like fucking 10 to 12 drinks. Like my dude was getting
The
sauce.
data says a scotch and a beer, but
yeah,
to get to 0.15.
but was it like a little S after
And this
that?
just says
Scotches
drink. So I
and a
mean,
beer?
I guess it could be a beer. It could be,
Maybe he did like a boot, like a
maybe
Das
two
boot,
Scotch.
like a boot of beer.
Maybe like 2 scotches, a beer, a couple beers.
Yeah, he was
like.
he was getting
Yeah.
tossed.
So in 1987, in September, an analysis of Paul's blood, hair, and spinal cord later detected also, in addition to the scotch and beer,
Crack.
Prozac.
Oh,
Well, there you go.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's how he got so tossed.
And it's something called tiapridol,
I don't know what that means.
which is sometimes it's used to combat alcohol withdrawal.
Oh wow, so he was clearly an alcoholic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he was an alcoholic who was like on the, you know what I mean?
He was on the slip and slide. Like he was like.
So you're taking this thing, this drug that's
So maybe
supposed to be
he-
for alcoholics.
maybe he
and
did have.
antidepressants.
So maybe
like,
he did have
antidepressants.
just a scotch and a beer, but he's also
Right.
taking antidepressants
Oh, so
on
he
the
was
top
like,
of it.
so he was like faded.
So maybe
Like, yeah.
maybe it,
Yeah,
it
but isn't the blood
amplifies.
alcohol level only for alcohol?
I don't know that.
I don't
data.
know. I think
don't know that
think
info.
that might get
Yeah.
skewed with like.
Right.
And
I mean,
antidepressants?
you definitely get fucked up, but like the blood alcohol level is only for alcohol.
I don't know how that works for him.
Yeah.
I actually don't
I don't
know the
know
answer.
how
to
that
that
works
question.
either. It's a
I
good
can,
question.
I can
It's a
see
good-
it might
good
be
question.
easily skewed by other substances.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's a
sure.
good question.
But I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay, so at approximately 12:23 a.m., the speeding car
He's like
attempted to
toasted.
outrun paparazzi.
at,
and
like
at
what time was
90
this?
miles an hour.
12:23
Okay.
a.m. And it attempted. Yeah, there was a bunch of paparazzi taking photos along the side. You know, the whole way.
He's like wasted.
It went into the
Getting blinded by all these flashes.
It went into the Pont de Allemand
The Pont de Lamont?
tunnel. It smashed into a concrete pillar.
Wait, so to clarify, they're driving and there's paparazzi driving next to them, right?
Taking
and they're
photos.
like
Oh,
taking
they're driving?
photos.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
they're driving at this point.
Yeah.
And
I
so
thought
they're
they
getting
were,
all
like, on
these
the street.
flashes in your eye. Like,
Yeah.
dude, if you're not driving, if you're not drinking, that shit's still going to fuck you up.
I mean, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So,
So they get into the tunnel.
They hit
Yep.
a fucking concrete pillar. Dead.
Paul's co-worker, Trevor, which is the bodyguard, he buckled his seatbelt and he was the only one who lived.
Wait, so nobody else had their seatbelt on?
No.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Faid and Paul, they died on the scene. Following the accident, Dr.
So
Frederick.
Paul's the driver. He's the security guy.
Yeah.
And Faid is the one
Faid
that
is the boyfriend.
is the boyfriend,
Yeah.
right?
Dr. Frederick happens to be driving by. This guy named Dr. Frederick
Dr.
Maliz.
In the Ballon
He
de
happens
Mall.
to be driving by and he tends to Diana with limited supplies before the ambulance arrive. The nearby workers and the people who arrived at the scene had to use a chainsaw to get Diana out of the car.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
So that was at 12:23.
I'd love to talk to this doctor.
Okay.
You want to come to the show, homie? You're welcome.
So keep in mind, 12:23. So at 1:20 a.m., after attempting to stabilize Diana on site, the ambulance transports her to the hospital.
Wait, what? The transfer to the hospital an hour and 12 minutes
An
later?
hour
Like, what
later.
the fuck?
An hour later, and the French ambulance subscribes to a different kind of method as the American ambulance.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, don't ever get hurt in France because you're fucked.
So in America, what they do is they do kind of like I guess they call it like a scoop and run technique. So
Like, instantly,
so
get
you
your
get-
ass in the fucking thing.
and then they
Let's
get you to
ride.
the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't try to do anything there.
Oh.
But apparently at that time, I don't know if it's the same now, but at that time, French ambulances would
They try to like stabilize
Try
you
to-
and
if
try
we
to
can-
work on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we can fix you here, like,
Yeah.
fuck the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's not
Tracking?
that bad.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
mad about that.
along the way, she suffers cardiac arrest,
Hmm.
and the ambulance stops and performs
like-
CPR.
Oh, they
and
stop and, like, throw her out?
Tries to
Like-
help her. No, and tries to help her, and so the initial call came in at 12:26. The 911 call.
When did she die? 1:20.
She arrived at Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris, 3 miles away, at 2:06.
Whoa, that's
Wow.
sketchy.
So 3 miles away, she arrived at 2:06, which was what started at
So-
12:26.
no. Well, they you said they picked her up at 1:20.
So the call came in at 12:26.
Yeah, but when they picked her up, the ambulance to take her to the hospital was 1:20.
But that doesn't make sense.
So it takes-
the call. It doesn't.
No,
that
no,
doesn't
no,
make
no,
sense.
no, no. They didn't take her because, like,
No,
the call came
the
in.
accident happened at 12:26.
Exactly.
But then the call came in, and then they showed up. Wait, 2 fucking hours? Okay.
90 minutes.
Oh,
About
they tried
90
to-
minutes.
oh,
Because
no.
she got there at 2 a.m.
No, but then they said they tried to stabilize her. They
Yeah.
had a chainsaw. They had
She had to get her out.
Right, but that
Yeah.
was from 12:20 whatever until 1:20
Yeah, that's right.
And
They
then-
said, like,
Yeah.
1:20, and then there's another 45 minutes for
for
3
3
hours.
miles. For 3
3
miles.
miles.
And
Yeah,
they're not
3
getting
miles.
stopped by, like, traffic lights and shit.
No.
Like, they're going.
Yeah.
Like, they're going for it.
So at 1:45 a.m., the royal family was notified. At 2:01 a.m., she got to the hospital and she went under for surgery. At 4 a.m., she was pronounced dead.
Damn.
The hospital anesthesiologist, Dr. Bruno Rio, said Diana's body arrived in a condition of serious hemorrhage and shock. An urgent surgery showed a severe wound to the left pulmonary vein. Despite the closure of this wound and the 2-hour external and internal cardiac massage, no official respiratory circulation could be established. By 6 p.m., Diana's body left the hospital, bound for England. About an hour later, their plane touches down at Northolt, where a ceremonial guard carries her coffin draped in the royal standard to a waiting hearse.
One of the theories is that they messed up the medical treatment, like, on purpose. Like, I don't know. This is one of the theories.
I mean, it seems a little sketch. I mean, maybe it's because we're Americans.
It's like you gotta have everybody in it.
2 fucking hours later, the most important person in the universe gets to the hospital. That's 3 miles away.
That's sketch.
Like, dude, a crackhead will get to the hospital in 7 minutes here. Like, they don't give a shit. They're taking him to the hospital. And it's 12 miles away. And he gets there in 7 minutes. Like, 3 miles away. It's a little weird. It's a little weird to me.
That keeps this story going.
It's a little weird to me.
Very confusing.
Especially
like, why would it take that long?
Especially because they know who it is.
Yeah.
They get there like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking Princess Diana.
We just established she was the most photographed person on Earth.
It's like one
Everybody
of the
knows
it's like
who she
imagine
is.
if like Kylie or like Kendall or one of the Kardashians got in a car accident.
I
They'd
would
be
have
like,
no idea.
oh fuck.
I would have no idea.
Oh yes, you would.
I would have.
Come on now.
You'd see the butt and you'd be like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a Kardashian. You would know.
No idea.
He's lying, folks. He's absolutely lying.
So here are a couple theories that have been going around. So one of them is Princess Diana was assassinated to prevent her from marrying a Muslim.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I mean,
so
judging-
Henry Paul's father, Jean Paul, said British police had told him that Diana had been knocked off by the royal family to prevent him from marrying Dodi, who is Muslim.
I mean, that's not the weirdest thing ever because, like,
Yeah.
if you think
It's not far
like
fetched.
the royal family's so conservative, like,
Right.
and even though she like was divorced out, which is probably like the worst thing they've ever had to deal with, like, oh my god, it's like the stigma of a divorce and like hyper Catholic, like fucking conservative family, like a Muslim after that, it's like that might just like blow everyone's head off. No, we can't have it. Oh my god, like.
Yeah.
So Henry's father, so Henry was the guy who was driving while intoxicated. He said, Diana was killed and my son was killed. I believe they were both murdered. My son was simply collateral damage of a plot to kill Diana, and it killed him as well.
Well, that was.
I mean, he might not be off.
Dodi's father.
Yeah,
said
it's a
that.
billionaire. That's
No.
No, who is that? What?
That's the guy who had Scotch.
Oh,
That's
right.
Paul.
Yeah, Henry Paul.
Oh,
Henry
he
Paul.
said that.
Yeah.
Like, why was your son was the one drinking?
I know,
Oh,
but he was saying
they
he was
could-
saying it was collateral damage for.
They could easily like maybe he
Yeah.
had like some like hottie there was like have another scotch, and he's like okay,
Yeah.
he's like have
I mean, later
another
it was said that the
scotch.
police dismissed his reports because there was no evidence to support it.
Well, here's a theory
Yeah.
that was flying around. He was MI6, or like basically, I guess the equivalent of like
Yeah,
CIA,
he was
right?
like-
Who was
The driver.
Henry Paul?
Oh, he was
Yes.
like he was British
Wow, I
intelligence.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he was in on this conspiracy, basically to take out Princess Diana.
And they were
But,
like, kill yourself.
Yeah.
But why is she so dangerous?
Well, she was an outsider. I mean,
Dude, I know, but,
like, what did she
like
do?
you're
that was
going
so-
against the most powerful family for whatever reason. Like they didn't like her. She was an outsider. They didn't like her ways of like being so, I don't know what, nice, outgoing to people and that sort of thing. Like being like for the people.
Dude, I view it as a thing.
Like-
You're the most photographed person in the world. Therefore, like everything you say holds weight with everyone who hears it. Like even MJ. Like, look, you look at Michael Jackson. It's like, okay, like there's all the things about him being a pedophile, but like he was the most known person in the universe. Like
You have power. That's power.
Yeah, power is by being known. So I think that could be a threat to like the monarchy.
For sure.
If she like was like, hey, they're doing fucked up shit. Like you guys got to listen to me. They're doing bad things, and they'd be like, and everyone would believe her because Diana. Like you believe her. You would 100% believe her instantly.
I think everybody would believe her.
I think they would. I believe her.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's a good person.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the threat might have been. Whereas, like, maybe she knew what was happening behind closed doors. I'm not saying that anything was.
And now
but,
that
like,
they were divorced,
yeah, and like she had
She was, like,
she
living
had
her
no,
own life.
yeah, she had no like loyalty to
I'm
them.
pretty sure she got a dowry. Or not a dowry. I don't think that's the right word.
Some sort of
but
like payoff.
Yeah,
like
like a
they were
payoff.
like, hey, like
I thought you
here's
were saying
cash.
diary. I was like, what?
You know, like
No,
some sort of
Jorge's never heard of the word dowry.
a dowry.
Excuse me.
A dowry
is a white person word.
Yes.
It's when a white person marries another white
Please
person and they
clarify.
get money to marry the other white person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be like if when you were marrying your wife,
Yeah.
you know, and then her parents gave
you a shitload of money
$1 million
just to marry her.
just to marry her.
I wish.
It's called a dowry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great system.
No,
'cause
okay.
I did not get any
Hey,
of that
I
money.
agree with that.
Yeah. I love America.
Except when my daughter gets
I love America.
I had to
married.
pay, I had to pay
Yeah.
for my own money. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Don't have daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep.
So
stop.
the other theory was that Diana was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so they had to kill her.
Yeah, but they had
Dodie.
an autopsy, no? Didn't that get debunked?
But like, why would that matter if she was pregnant? Like, that kid's not the heir to the throne. Like, it's not with the. It's not,
Yeah, but it's back to that whole like you know
Oh,
a
it's like-
Muslim baby in the
it's
royal
super
family.
super
Yeah.
hyper fucking
It's very
Roman
religious.
Catholic.
It's very
Ooh,
religious.
Catholic. You
anti-
can't. No,
yeah.
you can only marry one time.
Yeah.
Roman Catholic. the Pope is there.
So
and shit.
the
like-
reason why this conspiracy continues to persist is because Dodie's father said in 2003 that Diana
that's
called
many
and-
moons after.
Yeah, that Diana called and told him that she was pregnant the night of.
Why would she call?
Yeah, but
why would she
again,
call the
but
dad?
wouldn't that be-
Why would she
But
call the
I know,
dad?
but it was
though?
strange though. Blood tests were done at the scene of the accident. No signs of pregnancy.
Yeah.
See, the thing that's
Either
So why would
The conspiracy
this
of, like,
billionaire
they're not-
say that?
no, but what?
no, but either
here's
the
thing.
conspiracy of that information's not coming out to the public.
like maybe he didn't actually
you know?
say that.
Yeah, it's getting suppressed. You know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's multitudes of this. It's like, why would she call him and tell him, hey, by the by,
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell him. Like,
Hey, Muhammad.
no, literally. And like the other thing is like, I know like we may sound weird and whatever, but like when you're a fucking monarch, you're queen of a country that's
Yeah.
powerful. That's very powerful. One of the top 5. Like, yeah, like they do some blood tests. It's like, as my good friend Eric would say, switch the samples.
Switch the samples.
Switch the
Switch the
samples.
samples.
Switch samples.
Switch the
I mean,
goddamn
it's
sample.
not that hard to be like, hey,
Yeah.
like here's some blood, homie. Like check
Yeah.
your fucking Bank of America
Yeah.
account.
That one seems
You
stupid.
know, like,
That one seems silly.
No, it's
Yeah.
just-
Or
it's
as
a-
we say in Mexico, plata or plomo.
I have no idea
What
what
is it
that
like?
means.
It's
What
like-
does that mean?
You want,
you're in the
you want
dirt
the
or
money?
you wanna live?
It's like you want the money or you want the bullet.
Plata plomo. I'll take that money, sir.
So another one is kind of like similar, but it's the other theory is that Prince Charles plotted to kill her by tampering with her brakes, and the reason for that is
That makes sense.
is 10 months after they got a divorce.
He became a
She
mechanic.
She wrote a letter to her butler saying
Her
that
butler?
well, she was like, just imagine if you're like
Rich.
a royal family and you're not really allowed to go out much. Your homies are going to be your
like your help.
yeah.
It's
like
like
the
your-
butler
your help
is going to
is
be
like
your dude,
your dog.
You know,
Like-
the chef is going to be my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
hey,
mean?
man,
I'd be
like,
like,
why don't
hey,
you come have some
can
scotch?
I-
Come to the
Can you
royal
get a little
suite.
BLT? Can I get a little BLT,
A little
broski?
BLT.
Yeah, a little
Dude,
BLT, broskies.
I would kill you for a BLT right now. Like,
I know,
I'm
seriously.
I would literally kill you for a BLT.
So she wrote a letter to the butler claiming that Charles was plotting to kill her so he could marry somebody else.
That
and
sounds
this
like
is
an
what she
English
says.
royalty thing to do.
This is what she says. This is a quote. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car.
What? In her
In
car?
her car.
Brake failure.
What?
Whoa!
And serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy.
Who the fuck is Tiggy? Is she a Spice Girl?
Tiggy is a former nanny.
Oh my god, this guy's so bouge.
So then she
This
continued
guy's
to
the
write,
ultimate
Camilla
bouge.
is nothing but a decoy. So we are all being used by the man in every sense of the word. So Camilla is the girl, right?
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
You know,
No,
whatever.
but like,
Mistress.
what an
Or-
ultimate, like, he could even get, like, a special person. It had to be, like, the ex-nanny. She's like, she's like a 4.
I know. He's pulling
She
it.
loves me.
Yeah.
She loves me.
He's pulling a Schwarzenegger here.
I know.
Yeah.
Classic Schwarzenegger.
Classic Schwarzenegger.
Classic Schwarzenegger. Man.
Classic.
And then still married after.
Yeah,
It's
just like the autopsy. I mean, they
no
checked
pregnancy.
the car, right? They checked the car. There's nothing wrong with the car.
They checked the car. And
I'm like, the
Honestly,
autopsy,
though, the
no
photos,
pregnancy.
the car is smashed.
no, but Jorge, they checked the
Okay,
The
car.
car
that's true.
looks like a
True.
sardine.
But
like
in the 2 hours it took him to get her to the hospital 3 miles away, they checked the car.
Yeah, no. I mean, afterwards, of course. But I'm saying, like, from the research that I looked into, they checked the car. There was nothing wrong. There was no tampering with the car.
'Cause the
but to
brakes
your
didn't
point, yes,
exist.
it was an accordion. So it's like,
Yeah.
No, is this letter that she wrote to her butler verified? Like that's in her handwriting, she wrote it?
I don't know that info.
Because if it was, that's like the fucking smoking gun, bro. She said an accident
how many
in
times-
my car.
I don't know if that's worth
what
it or
else
not.
do you
No.
even know?
How many times have famous people predicted their own death?
I mean, I've never
Tupac.
I've never had a butler.
Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah,
Keep it going.
No, Biggie's dead. Tupac's on that.
Machiavelli.
Machiavelli.
No, the point being is that, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say a paranoid wife, but a paranoid, worry doesn't necessarily equate to murder.
No, I understand, but imagine what she knows that we don't know, being involved with that family.
True.
Would probably give you a really good reason to be paranoid.
Yeah,
the power, the amount of power and sway and shit you can do that you can get away with that you can't. Dude, when you run a fucking country, look at Joe Biden's son. He's literally on video smoking crack. No one cares. It's no one gives a shit. He's on video with hookers smoking crack, and no one gives a shit because that's how much power comes.
Are we gonna lose 50% of the people?
No,
we just lost all of them.
We just lost 50% of the listeners.
Here's the
entire
point:
West
it's
Coast.
that's how much power comes with the office. When you're in a monarchy, it's the same thing. It's for queen and country, for king and country. It's that. That's you're brought up to literally respect the office, and you fucking die on your sword for the fucking queen.
And that was the thing with her. She was very much against that outsider, not not jiving with that. So
yeah. So Jorge, where do you stand?
I actually don't think they took her out. I think it was just
An accident.
Definitely that guy was
Drunk
DUI
driving.
for sure.
He killed her.
Yeah, the driver. Yeah. But
Paul killed
Paul killed her for sure. Yeah, in an accident.
And Dodie.
In an accident, because also, okay, if he's drunk as shit, you got this paparazzi next to you, just flashing lights, that's a recipe for fucking.
Yeah, you're drinking. You're on Prozac.
Yeah. That too.
You're on.
I forgot about that.
What's that other one? No. The alcohol withdrawal drug. Typridel.
Yes,
Typridel.
that's a very good recipe for crashing.
Yeah.
And then you're not wearing your seatbelt. I mean, obviously. Now here's the thing.
You hit a pillar in a tunnel.
You hit a pillar in a tunnel. Okay, recipe for fucking being dead, right? But here's the thing. They took so long when they got to her.
Yeah.
They should have gotten her to the
maybe
hospital
could have
alive.
saved her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
They maybe could have saved her. And then there's
a little bit of negligence.
There's a theory
going on.
of negligence on purpose, or it was planned or whatever. I don't subscribe to that. I don't know.
Here's the
What
thing.
do you think?
I think she was killed, bro.
What?
I think she was killed. I think it was a fucking plot. Okay, listen to me. Hear me out. Okay, so you have someone that's taking drugs to literally for alcohol withdrawal. So that person is clearly a raging alcoholic. Obviously, you can presume that.
I mean, your 0.15 is pretty high.
No, but listen.
I'm not.
Hear me out.
I haven't tested a lot. But
Hear me out. Hear me out. So someone who's taking a drug for alcohol withdrawal is presumably a raging alcoholic. A 0.15 to a raging alcoholic is like a 0.00 for us. If you're a raging alcoholic, okay, look, I grew up with a kid and his dad was a raging alcoholic. His dad would drink a 24-pack of Milwaukee's Best Ice and be chilling. A case.
Yeah.
And he was a raging alcoholic. And dude, he would smash a 24-pack and be totally fine. He'd drive and shit and he'd be completely coherent.
Yeah.
So if you gotta think a 0.15, while that's high for like the normal populace, if a guy who's taking alcohol withdrawal meds, a 0.15 is like nothing. Zero.
That's true. That's a good point.
And, like the immense amount of power and like influence on the other side of the coin, especially on the hyper conservative side of things, like, what she was doing, even like, as we're just saying, like him being a Muslim, like, and them being like Roman Catholic, that could have been a controversy, and like they're trying to stay on the radar. I think it'd be very easy for them to do that. So
just take her out.
Dude, for that reason, I believe that it was a setup because, like, come on. If you're a raging alcoholic and you have to take meds because you're such an alcoholic, a 0.15 ain't shit to you. Like, it ain't shit.
Yeah, but with meds?
Dude, it ain't shit.
When you mix it with meds?
Dude,
doesn't it like amplify
it?
Like, doesn't it amplify it?
Yeah, but like,
I mean,
I've seen alcoholics, bro. I've seen them in the flesh, and like the amount they can consume is like unfucking believable.
Right.
So
Like,
definitely, we all agree it was not
unbelievable.
one scotch and a beer.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. It definitely wasn't, but I don't think that's a 0.15. Like, I think like this, like I've seen it in real life what alcoholics can do, and it's like unfucking imaginable. Like, you cannot believe.
Yeah.
Like, I think I could be at a 0.15 and I'm like, whoa, vibing. I'm not saying I could drive, but like, if I was an alcoholic, I'd be at like a 0.5, and I'd be like, where are we going next? Just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that's my view. I
see.
think she was killed. I think that she was too much of a threat and too much of an outspoken voice.
Too much of a thorn.
I think she had
thorn in the side.
Yeah, an outspoken voice. Like, she knew what happened, and at any point in time, she could have been like, "Hey," and like it could have been a huge problem. Everyone listened to her.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking at her at all times. I think she was killed.
What do you think, Eric?
This was tough because
It is tough. Yeah, it's a toughie.
It's tough because the stories of royal family history and
They always are shitty.
The royalty of England is
it's really dark.
It's like it's deeper than Game of Thrones. Like it's like they have like
it's beheading wives and all kinds of shit.
One would hope that we've moved into a civilized age, but
they won't get rid of
historically,
the monarchy.
historically it has not been that. You know what I mean? Like, so. But at the same time, my logical side says it's just an accident, like Jorge says. Like, idiot, you let a drunk person drive you home.
Yeah.
You're going to,
Yeah, just like Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in jail. 100%. Accident. Accidents happen every day.
Dude, we got to do one on that, by the way.
Accidents happen every day in prison, bros.
True.
We got to do that one for sure.
Keep your eyes peeled for that one.
But I don't know. Actually, I'm not fully on board with that it was an accident, but like
so
there's a little bit door open there.
So Eric's what we call a 50-50-er.
Yeah, like
so that way he's not wrong.
But my logical sense,
right.
my logical sense says it was just an accident. They were trying to get away from paparazzi, and
I can see it.
They hit fucking at 70 miles an hour at midnight. They were all drinking, and they hit a fucking pillar.
I know.
Have you seen the car?
Yeah.
Image.
Yeah,
it looks like a sardine, like crushed.
If you're a billionaire, pay your security to not drink while you're drinking.
Yeah,
like,
that was so stupid. That was a stupid.
That's like step one.
Yeah,
pay your security enough to not drink on duty.
Yeah, that was a stupid move.
Especially when they're driving you.
Also, I don't like that Henry Paul's dad says all that stuff, and then
his son was the one who was drinking?
No, and his son was the one who was driving drunk. And he was just a driver from the Ritz.
I know, he wasn't like a special dude.
Like, who are you?
Like a regular dude.
Guy, not even part of their life.
Well, see, he's what we call a lawsuit chaser.
Yeah, like I'm fucking
he's like, I'm suing the crown
that guy's
for $40 billion.
Dude. That guy's an asshole. Anyways.
He's part of the conspiracy.
Yeah. It was. I remember that though so well. It was such a tragedy, such a horrible thing.
People were
like the world.
The world was fucked up about it.
The world was
stuck. Yeah. They were like, and she wasn't even the princess anymore.
No,
and they were still upset. They were pissed.
Yeah,
they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and that went on for a while too.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the amount of
Yeah.
influence she had.
I know.
She wasn't even in the royal
It's pretty
family
amazing.
anymore, and people were fucked up about
Yeah.
it. Like, fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
people who weren't even English.
Yeah.
They were fucked up about it. Like,
Yeah.
Americans were like, oh my God. Like,
Well, all right. That's all we got tonight. Thanks, guys.
tell us your thoughts. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. And then we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Hey, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at A Conspiracy Podcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Above all, the most important thing you can do to support our show is leave a review. That's how this show keeps going, is by reviews from you guys. Thanks a bunch.